What rule was made because of you? So in 4th grade we had this thing called Wax Museum where you dressed up as a historical figure and gave presentation. So my friend was Harry Houdini and so he had handcuffs. So as 10-year-olds we were messing with them and my friend put them on me. These were not the cheap plastic ones at the dollar store, they were prop ones made from real metal. So they get stuck and long story short I was in the office with 3 people around me trying to get the handcuffs open with pens and a pumpkin knife. My sister said when she had to do it there was no handcuffs allowed. Thanks Nathan for trapping me. We had this same assignment in 4th grade and I actually remember the teacher saying no handcuffs. Students are prohibited from organizing, advertising, playing, observing, or otherwise engaging in any form of rummy, blackjack, Texas Hold'em, 5/7 card stud/draw, pay-gow, or poker during lunch period. Poker chips and cards are prohibited from school grounds except when required for specific, pre-approved activities or projects. Violation of this policy is subject to expulsion and referral to law enforcement for illegal gambling. This was middle school, decades ago. Our first, and last, annual, school district, Texas Hold'em tournament, presented by Junior's Bake Shop, was a resounding success. Why was a rule made against it? Sheriff's Department caught wind of it. A deputy's wife was a teacher and supposedly overheard some of the teachers running side bets on who would take the bracket. So the principal had to make a policy change and shut it down. We weren't betting real money, but it was seen as a negative influence activity. The place I work used to have unlimited coffee for their employees. 3 weeks after I started working, there was a sign above the coffee maker that stated that employees were limited to 3 cups a day. How much coffee did you have to drink to accomplish this feat? At that point in my life I was newly sober, which means the one vice I had left was coffee. No lie, 8 to 12 cups. Congratulations on quitting. I've heard that can be really hard to do. My high school used to have a drug project where we'd have to give a presentation on a certain drug. There was a little thing on how it's made, like in a lab or it's a plant or whatever. I misunderstood how in-depth that part was supposed to be. Long story short, I spent 15 minutes teaching the entire freshman boys health class how to make black tar heroin, complete with a PowerPoint presentation. They don't have that part of the project anymore. That's a great presentation. When I was 11, my class studied ancient Egypt. We each had to make a diorama and poster, and younger classes of pupils went around in small groups and heard about our projects. I did crime and punishment. I somehow thought it would be acceptable to explain adultery to little kids in lower grades, complete with examples. Well, it's like if your mom cheats on your dad and starts going to bed with another man, etc., the punishment is death. Holy shit, did my parents get a call from the school. The library started putting up signs about authorized computer activities because I remotely rebooted the computers of noisy kids over and over. To be fair, it was a library. Chaotic good. Our university should have had a similar policy. We had Mac and Windows labs way back before Windows hit its real network security phase. If you knew what you were doing, you could look up friends' usernames and see if they were on the uni network, and what the host name was. Then you could remotely reboot their computer while filling their screen with messages. This was a fun activity during assignment deadline time until the friends you were doing it to worked out how to find you. Students are forbidden to jump out through the windows. But the teachers could. That's B. We had a teacher actively encourage a kid. We were the 4th story of the science building. Kid threatened to jump out of the window if we had a test. Teacher shrugged and told him to go ahead. The big windows were all locked and didn't open, only the small ones at the top above the big ones. Teacher assumed kid didn't fit. Classmate got one arm, leg and half his body, sideways so as if he was lying on a bed and was cut in half in and half out the window before the teacher started screaming for him to get back. From then on kids weren't allowed to open windows. No singing Les Miserables at work. That first song with the prisoners working. Me with a mop. Edit, earlier in that shift, I brought about a rule against Bohemian Rhapsody too. Look down, don't look them in the eye. Look down, you're here until you die. Can't imagine why they would stop people singing and keeping morale up. Prisoner 24601. Your time is up. And your parole's begun. You know what that mean? Yes. It means I'm free. No. Follow to the letter your itinerary. This badge of shame you'll show until you die. It warns you're a dangerous man. I mopped a dirty floor. The bathroom counters were soaked with grime. And mold was growing.